wanted me to come back to is the framework of, in reference to that, we may feel like we're being an imposter, right? Because if we've only known what we've known and then we're trying to change it, this imposter syndrome may come up, that we're trying to change it. And it's like, this being will be here, like, because you've already created this entity of this existence of who you think you are, because you've just done it for so long, or it's been passed down or trained and ingrained into you, that you think that's who you are. And so whenever you try to change it, it's like going in resistance to the entity that you've created about yourself, your ego, your identity form in that reference. And that's why many people will have multiple personalities, because this is who I am, this is who I am, and then we have to change it and make it. And a lot of times that can be just different entities of ourselves that we're creating. People think it's outside of us, right, attacking us, but it's an entity that we've created for ourselves. And we live in that time frame when we're connected to it, right? Because we can project our reality and into any all things that we've ever created, right? And these are cycles and paths that we continue to live in, right? There's multiple timelines all at one time. It's not just one path that we live. This is me, human Laura, but there's many multiple different entities. Like, you have your inner child, you have your wounded self, you have your creative self, you have your magician self, you have your healer. We have all these aspects of self. Carl Jung, he talked about these. We have all these different entities and things that we create, and when we allow them to take over, the multiple personalities, we're living in all of these in the creation. We can be in that place, right, depending on our life situation, but we create these entities and then we live in them based on where we are in life, right? And so what are we experiencing, right, from the past? And I'll give you one on abundance, right, that just came in. So like, if you grew up in a family that was poor and there was an experience where you observed your parents, they lost their job and then they had to move and then you had to blah, 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 blah. You may feel, it may trigger in you when you lose your job, that same scenario, and then you're going to bring that memory back and you're going to play that out. You're going to repeat that cycle, if that makes sense. So I want to kind of give that as an example that they just brought in for you. But when we are, again, we may feel like, because that entity, that creation has been created, this is who I am, when we hold on to that identity, we suffer it instead of letting it pass through us, right? This is who I am, not this is my experience, right? When we want to offset that, and so we don't get stuck in it, this is my experience, is what I know, but it's not true. And so when we can change that, it's awareness coming in that you are where you are, but you're not it.